Hey, welcome to Soda Beers, Jack of Barbecue. Check out the rack of pork we did on the Kamado Joe. Yes, said the Kamado Joe. Well, we don't show that a whole lot, and that was what we started our channel with. I use that a lot on the weekends when I'm cooking mass amounts of food, and I do a lot of, as you may know before, my son-in-law and I do some venison sausage. So I'll cook like 10 pounds of sausage, then I'll vacuum seal in pieces so I have a whole bunch of lunches. But using the S1 from ChefsTemp. So the S1 is a unit, a thermometer goes on top of the Kamado Joe, and then it, with the fan regulator, the Breezo fan in the vent hole, it actually regulates what I want this set at. This thing was up and running in less than a half an hour to about 350 degrees, which is normally, I don't rush the Kamado Joe, I just let it do its thing, get the temperature, but this thing really is a game changer for that. And it's gonna rock this thing at like 350 the whole time. Just used this past weekend on ham, and it ran for about 10 hours and did a fantastic job. So we're gonna probably take this to about 145. I like to take it to about 145. I know you can pull it at 135 to 140 and let it rise to 145 to finish, but I kind of like it towards 150 for my pork. So, oh, forgot to say I seasoned it with, didn't have that sitting out here, just a Costco pork barrel barbecue, one of my wife's favorite seasonings. So that's what we're doing the rack of pork with today. Just gonna get this on the grill and let it rock, and we'll bring you back when we put it on the grill. All right, let's get this on. I said, just opened the grill and this thing was running at like 353, so it was almost perfect. Just gonna let this thing hang out. I may turn it when it gets to about maybe 100 degrees, but we'll see. We'll bring you back and let you know what's going on. All right, so we hit about 114 is what it's saying for the internal one. Wow, does that look beautiful. So I'm just gonna flip it over, just to kind of promote some even cooking here. Don't know if I needed to or not, but that's kind of the plan here. So let's gonna let this ride. When it gets about 140, we'll start checking temperature to see how everything's looking. So we just hit just over 140, just showing 142 here. So I just want to take a couple readings, see where we're at. $143 is what I'm seeing on the temperature there, and this is done here. Yeah, another, say 142 there in the center. I'm gonna probably let it go just another 2 minutes here, and we're gonna pull it off. All right, so just, it was like only about 2 minutes, but it actually, the thermometer was just beeping that it's done. So, boy, that looks nice. I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. We'll see you on the cutting board. As always, cheers. Here we are, end of the cook. Rack of pork on the Kamado Joe. And I ran the Kamado Joe today with the S1 and the Breezo fan from ChefsTemp. I used it before, and the first time I used it, I didn't have the right battery source for it, so it didn't run the grill as well as it should have. It was still fine for what we did that night, but this thing here now, it just makes it so simple. And while I have no issue getting my temperatures on my Kamado Joe, knowing the vent settings and all those things over the years, it just, on a weeknight cook, this thing was rocking, ready to go like within a half hour's time with that fan, forcing the fire to get where it was, and then settling in where it needed to be. Man, that worked nice. Makes a smart grill. I could work that thing from anywhere at that point then, because it's on my Wi-Fi network. So, rack of pork, we are thinking about 105 or 110, I forget what it was, that we kind of turned it just to kind of promote the even cooking. Went to like 145 where the probe is right now. It says it rose to, right now it just hit 150, which is actually what I go for. Now these ends are a little bit done more, but again, this rack of pork is, I almost want to say it's off the rib side of it, so it's really juicy and there's enough fat in there to take it in. I'm not gonna try to cut in between the bone, but I'm gonna take off an outside edge here. I still caught a little bone there. Yeah, boy, that looks good. Get a little bite for myself here. Super tender. This is one thing I love about the rack of pork. I end up taking this in. It has 8 bones in here. Usually get 9 pieces of meat out of it. I'll take the bones off it, and then I'll freeze the pieces of meat. My wife and I will get it out later for leftover meals with mashed potato or some kind of potato, rice, whatever. Makes for an easy, quick night, weeknight meal. So juicy and tender. That I mentioned, but it is from Costco. Pork barrel barbecue. Like I said, one of my wife's favorites, so always like to season the rack of pork like that. So hopefully like we're seeing, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell notifications, and we'll see you next time.